I'm doing my article presentation on the conceptual basis of non-formal education. So to start off with, a little bit about the author. Her name is Felicita Bernardino. She is a former deputy minister in the Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sports in the Philippines, and she's also been a part of many other clubs, associations, and organizations in the Philippines as well. Okay, what is non-formal education? So, non-formal education is any systematically organized educational activity that is outside of the normal framework of a formal school system. And this system provides learning to a particular group of people in the population. And so, hearing non-formal, some people might be confused and to think that this is an unorganized system of education, and like I've already stated, it actually is organized. And so, maybe to help clear up the confusion, we'll look at the differences between non-formal, informal, and formal education. So I've already given a definition of non-formal education. So informal education is actually the unorganized aspect, and although informal education is unorganized and is unsystematic, it actually accounts for a very high portion of what a person will learn in their lifetime. It's actually very high compared to the others, and the reason for this is because these are the attitudes, values, skills, and the knowledge from daily experiences that a person will pick up. And so, for example, one of these is that a child can learn cooking and caring skills by watching their parents, and other things like that too. And so their attitudes and behaviors, this is picked up mostly by observing. And formal education is what we normally see on an organized school structure. It usually has a grade level system just based off of the age, and there's usually some sort of credentials or grading system involved in that. Okay, so the characteristics of a non-formal education. So like the ones that I've already listed, these are just the basic main ideas. And to go a little more into detail, so as in the definition, non-formal education is it helps to meet the specific needs of a group of people, and this is different than the formal education system, which is very general and has universal application. And so the formal school system it's broadened and been generalized to include everyone. With non-formal education, you can focus on a specific group of people that need to know this specific type of information. And so the learning is not so much, it's also different from the formal setting. It's more through experience, and the acquisition of skills and knowledge is important for leadership. And the performance is based off of knowledge, what they've learned. It's not based off of a certificate or earning a certificate from the education that they'll receive. And non-formal education, it's also more flexible than a formal setting. So with a formal education, you need some sort of school center, some school building. You need professional teachers with certificates, and just all of the things included with a formal school system. With a non-formal, the teachers, they could be volunteers, and they're mostly people in the community who already have a broad knowledge of what they're teaching, and it might not be because they've earned a degree. It's because they've actually they're actually already doing this type of thing. Okay, what is the value of non-formal education? So, first of all, as of, like I've listed, as of December 1980, more than 2.5 million people over the age 10 years and above were illiterate or semi-illiterate. And so a non-formal education program, it offers the opportunity for these social, cultural, recreational, but then also the educational aspect as well, and they can reach these people that a formal school system cannot get to. And so just seeing the amount of people that, as of this year, the article doesn't say if the number has gone down or increased, but just to see that with a formal school system it can be harder to reach all of these people, but with a non-formal system, just having a greater chance of being able to reach all these people. So how can non-formal education contribute to a formal education? Well, there's just 4 things that you really need to remember. That as an alternative, it complements, it's an extension, and it's also a part. So as an alternative, like I've said before, it can reach the people in the population that a formal school system can't reach. And so you might go to a non-formal system because there might be a lack of resources such as time, facilities, the personnel, and the money to make a formal school system. So as a complement to formal education, this is so because the non-formal education, it can be the on-the-job training that makes what you learn in the formal education system, you're applying what you've learned there into on-the-job training, which is a non-formal education system. So as an extension to the formal education system, after graduating, after the classroom, learning shouldn't just end there. And so after your formal education, to continue with non-formal education, then this will be a learning process over your whole life, and it doesn't just stop after your formal education. And then as part of a national learning system, so the total needs of a nation and its people are served by a total learning system, of which formal and non-formal education are both essential elements. No matter how you characterize a non-formal education, it should always be considered as part of the total learning system. And so, what does this mean for you as a teacher? So, some of the things that I've thought of while I read this article was that as a teacher, one should realize that your students are not only learning when they step into the classroom, they'll be learning things at home, from playing with their friends, interacting, and from simply just taking a walk out on the street. But then besides that, as a teacher, then this shows you that you don't have to be limited to the formal setting of the school. You can go outside of the formal school setting and still be a teacher. And that is all. So hopefully you'll think of this and ponder this on your own. And if you have time, I would suggest to read this article. It's very interesting. Okay, thank you.